What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Did You See That? As you know, we've been reviewing adulting. We are currently on the second last episode of the season, and to be honest, I'm ready to hop off the adulting train. I just feel like from the first season to this season, there hasn't been a lot of like character growth, character development, and maybe this is intentional. Maybe it's one of those situations where it's like art imitates life and like this is just how niggas are. But I just feel like every episode is the same thing. It's drinking, it's girls, it's sex, it's like rekopa nuance, man. You know what I mean? Rekopa interesting deep conversations between men. Rekopa kala, rekopa, you know what I mean? So anyway, in this past episode, the boys decide to go on a boys trip, and all of them are going on a boys trip to numb themselves in a very weird way. On Bonga's side, he obviously found out that Nkanyezi has been taking contraceptives, and he's really pissed off about that. True to Bonga form and true to his character, he hasn't had a conversation with her. He hasn't told her that this is why he's upset. He's just been super avoidant. So he decides to go on this boys trip with these boys to basically go deal with his frustration of Nkanyezi. With Vuyani, he's also again trying to escape his whole situation. He's obviously into this new chick, and this chick is actually the one that invited him on the weekend away. She obviously brings her other girls, and it becomes like a trap house situation. And while they're there, the man who this girl is actually seeing, the MEC that she's actually seeing and that's financing her life, he arrives at this house because it's his house, and obviously there's havoc because he's like, I didn't agree to my house being used as like a house party, and also who are all these men, who are all these people, like I'm supposed to be your man. So it gets very chaotic. They ended up like running out of the house, bullets are flying, etc. So from Vuyani's perspective, his thing with Logel obviously has ended, and so he needs to now go back to his life with Beth. And interesting to see what will happen, because him and this chick are both dating MECs, and I'm assuming politicians talk amongst each other and like talk about their side things amongst each other. So yeah, I foresee that this is something that Beth might find out about, but we'll see. Mpho Mpho's a fantastic, actually all these guys are really good actors, but Mpho specifically, because he's the one that pisses me off the most, I feel like he's doing a fantastic job. He's dealing with erectile dysfunction. As you know, he's a newly divorced man. He's trying to get back out there, but like and it's really stressing him out. And again, just speaks to, you know, how I wish there could be character development, how I wish men could give themselves the chance to just be better people. Like, he's obviously going through it. Go talk it out with a professional. Go, you know, see someone about your condition. Like, a lot of the blockers and why I think he's experiencing ED is just because he hasn't processed what has happened with his ex-wife. But of course, true to form, he just wants to continue drinking, continue to try having sex with people, and just continue numbing instead of actually facing the situation at hand. So that's important. And then Tiki Tiki, he's just there to have a good time. He's there to have a good time. He opens up to his friends and tells them that he's back in the life of crime. He's back to hijacking, and he's doing it basically to feed his family and pay for his kids' school fees. So there is a little bit of a moment of vulnerability where they all share like what it is that they're trying to numb from, but they don't go deep enough, which I think is quite telling, because I think generally, and I don't know, I'm not privy to what happens in male friendships, but I imagine that it tends to work out that way, where, you know, there'll be a little bit of vulnerability, and then it's like, oh, haha, let's get back to like the hoes and drinking and all of that stuff. So I just feel like, yeah, we are one more episode to go in this season. Happy that it's one more episode to go in this season. Because, yeah, I just feel like from season 1 up until now, character development, story, all of these things have been lacking, and I feel like we are basically seeing the same recycled story from the first season. So yeah, I think the production sort of hit its plateau perhaps in the second season, that the third season is starting to feel quite repetitive. So yeah, but let's see what happens in the finale. And yeah, let me know if you guys checked out this week's episode of Adulting. Let me know your thoughts. Are you still happy to be on this adulting train, or are you also like, get sharp? Let me know. Cheers.